Hi, this is Anna Imagination. Emotions are part of life and they have a purpose. And whenever I experience emotions, I am huge on reporting in on what they are doing, how they work, because it's data. And in order for this kind of work and research to take place, it costs me my vulnerability. I'm perfectly fine with that. Having narcissism. Learning about borderline personality disorder was a relief. Learning about depression was a relief. But learning that you had narcissism is devastating. There's no relief to it. Learning you have multiple personality is relief. Oh, that's what's wrong. That makes sense. But narcissism is devastating. It comes with all the debts that you owe come due. It comes with the regret. The people who have narcissism usually have a high value and ethic. For protecting other people. Which is why when you find out you have narcissism, you see all the damage and the hurt you caused other people. So the devastation is actually the conflict between your ethics and your actions. Upon learning about my narcissism, my partner basically said, "We're done for now." To protect his mental health, we're done. And I'm going, okay. So in addition to the devastation, there's also that consequence I'm dealing with. And I don't blame him. Finding out I had borderline was a lot easier than this. Finding out I had multiples was easier than this. It has been a defining of keeping my emotions I didn't know what manipulation was. There's the glorification of empathy, which now just churns my stomach with disgust. There's seeing romantic love for what it is and realizing how fucking disgusting that is. So now there's disgust associated with romance. There's realizing that you used your own emotions and your words to evoke and puppet others. And there's also realizing what being empathetic is, which is something completely different. Empathetic is pausing and thinking about how others would feel. Really prioritizing the emotional impact your words have on others. But in order to do that, you need to know that your emotions and your words affect others. The problem is, a narcissist is somebody who was raised around people who taught you that your words and emotions don't have an effect on others. He sent me a letter that basically said, right now, no more. I have people who tell me to manifest. That's manipulation to me. I don't want love. I have never been one to desire a relationship, so I go looking for somebody to plug in. It doesn't work like that for me. Either a person inspires the desire for a relationship or they don't. I am happy that he is prioritizing his mental health, which is wisdom, love. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. There's nothing on this. There's nothing on it. Because people don't do this. People don't recover from narcissism. And it's the amount of self-hating that we do on narcissists. We think that they are the worst. And they're not. And they are. I'm so angry with the world. I'm angry with me, and I'm angry with all of us. We fucking hate a narcissist. But we're the narcissist. It's self-loathing. It's projecting our own self-hatred onto others, not realizing that we're talking about ourselves the whole time. And I've been saying for the last 6 months, we need to be nicer to narcissists. They're not what we think they are. And every time I go online, every time I go on YouTube, I see this flood of narcissist hate. I would post something on my Facebook account back when I was on Facebook, and I would have people just hating on narcissists. And I would step up and say, no, be kind to them. They hurt the most. And people would like, oh, that's not true. Want to bet? I got 30 years of psych. What do you have? Do you want me to go through it with you? You see, the reason why narcissists are so evil is because they are the rabid dog in the corner who have lost all hope and all trust. They don't know love. Love is an emotion that actually cushions and absorbs other emotions. It's a buffer emotion, so that when you feel sad with love, it doesn't hurt so much. But a narcissist is the only person who is completely void of all love. They don't get the buffer like everyone else gets. They feel those emotions intense and raw without any buffer. And they have never known love. That's why they're narcissists. That's what they're doing, is they are trying to find love, not knowing what it is, just knowing that they need it. So they do their best to mimic it, to repeat what they think it is, but they don't have a clue. It's not a competition. It's meant to evoke sympathy and compassion for the people who suffer the most. Because every last one of us has a degree of narcissism inside of us. How do you know you don't have narcissism? Do you know what love is? Are you certain? Do you know who you are? Are you defined? Can you trust? If you can't answer a solid yes to all three of those questions, you've got it. You're a narcissist. And because it has these 4 stages, these 4 levels, people don't see it until they're at a stage 3. And even then, they deny it. Because who wants to be a narcissist when everyone hates on you? So they will deny it because they don't want to be hated. They already feel hated. Why would you want to go to a therapist to be told that you have narcissism when everyone in the world fucking hates on you? And then when you find out that you are the narcissist the whole goddamn time, that it was your hate you were spewing on other people, now you've got to take that in. Now you've got to taste your own hatred. So when I say we really need to be fucking nice to narcissists, what I'm really saying is be nice to yourself. Because it's all going to come back to you. It's going to come back to every one of us. And that's what I've been dealing with. Now, I've been nice to narcissists. I've been compassionate. I cannot imagine what it would feel like if I hadn't been. So I have already got the practice of compassion for narcissists. And I'm still struggling trying to remember what it is I said. I did not know. I had no idea. I didn't mean to. The information that was out there was wrong. So I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't know. None of us did. It was just pure ignorance. But we can do better. We can learn and do better. All I wanted to do was help and to make it better and to fix. And it is learning how to accept your own limitations. Wisdom love is different than any other kind of love that is out there. I have always found comfort in education, no matter what. Education is what soothes me. Knowledge is what soothes me. Problem solving is what soothes me. And I know that wisdom love is going to be the core to this, even though I don't quite know what it is yet. I know it's the prioritizing of the self. Hope. Keep the door open. Patience. Self-forgiveness. All right. You want to know what forgiveness really is? Really? It is giving vulnerability while you are vulnerable. When a person is vulnerable, you have two choices. You can be aggressive and lash out, or you can be more vulnerable. Forgiveness is choosing to be more vulnerable. It is understanding your motive. Let's look up the word motive. A reason for doing something. A motive is a reason. What does incentive mean? Incentive is what encourages you. Stability. Matters. It is patience. It is self-forgiveness. I feel like this is a massive test. Stability, patience, kindness. This is going to be very... I thought I sent this. Let me check. Self-wisdom, love. And this is me just going to be digging this out real deep. It's not only prioritizing the self, it is also encouragement. Kindness. Sometimes I feel like it was just a lack of valuing my own words and emotions. It's stability, patience, I'm going to say again, giving vulnerability. While you are vulnerable, it's keeping the door open. It's allowing for boundaries, growth, healing, and self-care. Staying focused on the priority. And the priority is your self-care, your self-love, and their self-love. When he and I first met, that's the way we were. My narcissism broke that down and destroyed it. And what's my incentive? I value him without profit or gain. My motive is his health and mine. I've promised. The problem with promises, faith, loyalty, is these things become prioritized above health. You end up being so focused on honor that you prioritize honor above self-love. I believe wisdom love is when you have two stable selves that when they come together, they don't enable, but they nurture each other's self. I cannot use words like friend. I cannot use a lot of the words that are out there because the meaning no longer is what they are. Platonic love is way too much. I don't even know what it's called. Yes, I do. Come on. Aristocracy. The aristocratic. That's what it is. It's no. Yeah. This is really, yeah. I'm going to stand by that. So when I see something that comes anywhere from the 14th to the 16th century, the 1400s, I should say, to the 1600s, that screams to me Voltaire, aristocracy, aristocratic mindset. And then you have the Victorian mindset that comes later in the 1900s, 18 to 1900s. The Victorian mindset is a bastard child of the aristocratic mindset. That's when you get into Milton. That's when you get into, it's just icky. And then you have the romantic mindset. The romantic, the aristocratic, the Voltairian, the Victorian. These mindsets. Oh, there's the anger. Oh, I love the anger. Oh, thank God for the anger stage. Yay. The anger stage is my favorite stage. Oh, I've been waiting for the anger stage. Thank God. I said that I wanted to know every type of love with that man. And I said this not knowing all the types of love there is. And this is another type of love I don't enjoy. But the story is not what I value anymore. You can have these things, but it's really important to not prioritize them. You can like and enjoy these things, but where we really fuck this up is when we prioritize them. And that's important to understand. You can enjoy the love story. You can enjoy the honor, but you cannot prioritize it. And in romantic love, platonic love was birthed out of aristocratic love, which was birthed from Voltairean love, from Milton love, from romantic love. And now we're just dealing with one more bastardization of something that's already disgusting. The romantic love is narcissism. It is the glorification of martyrdom. Romanticism is the glorification of martyrdom. And if you don't know what the self is, then you really don't understand the devastation of this concept. Christianity is romantic. Martyrdom is glorified. It's viewed as righteous, and it's rewarded. And it's fucking disgusting. It literally is a celebration of destroying the self. I'm going to translate these fancy words. It's glorifying suicide. Now, do we understand? Because this is the path to suicide. This is it right here. This is the path to suicide. Only it's romanticized, glorified, decorated, rewarded. Which is why they put a clause in there. Oh, don't kill yourself, though. Do everything else that leads up to that. Inspire others to kill you for you. That way your hands can be clean. Christianity is the glorification of suicide. Romance, narcissism. I see no difference between these three words. Christianity, romance, and narcissism. Our entire society is built on this garbage of self-suicide. But it motivates and inspires others to do it for you. It's manipulating others so that you can become so sacrificial that it's a suicide of the self. But we put all these other words like martyrdom and righteousness, platonic love and romance to hide what it's really doing. Wisdom love is something different. First of all, it comes before this parasite. It builds the self up. And it prioritizes the self-love of another. It ensures that both you, I see. Oh, that's so beautiful. In romantic love, there's only one foundation holding up the two of you. But you're both so busy chipping away at that one foundation that the whole thing is going to fall down. But in wisdom love, there are two foundations. The I and the I of your you. And the I nurtures. Oh, while the self builds. Let's change the word nurture to encourage. Whereas the I of you nurtures and encourages, cheers you on, but it is the self that builds. So that you have two stable foundations, not one. This is interdependence. What am I grieving? A loss of time? A loss of delusion? I thought I had something good, and I didn't. Now I can. Whatever I do have going forward will be good, but I'm angry. I am so angry. That's really good. Anger means that I've moved on to the next stage. I'm so angry. I'm so very angry. It's my defense system that's come up and said, "Who's hurt you?" Me. I've hurt me. And Berrigan's all ready to go to war, and he's like, "You're hurt. So change. Just change." See, this is it right here. When you get angry, foundationals lash out. Cultivators talk about it. Visionaries say, let's change it. So what about me would I change? God, I haven't done this work in so long. Words matter. Oh, my emotions. Affect others. Who love me. Oh. I don't understand. Words. 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 I'm struggling with them. The power of words. Lying is easy to define. But when you're not lying and you are carefully selecting words to evoke an unnatural response. Unnatural response. Whenever you give words, when words are used as puppet strings, to control the actions of others, what would be the purpose? And that's something that really just sticks with me. Every person in my life has a purpose, a very defined purpose. Either someone comes to me because we're working on a project together, or they're not in my life. If we're not building something, then I have no reason to interact with them. And I'm struggling with this because I don't want to do this anymore. I'm angry. And I just got to work out these emotions. I just got to work through this process. And there's just no books on this. I have so much anger. What can I control? Me. I'm trying to figure out when this goddamn thing went inside of me. This is just the grief. And I just am so angry. Point of change. Choose my qualities. Choose better qualities. I wanted to be ethical. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be honest. I want to be pure with my intentions. I want to prioritize self-love and mental health in others and in myself equal to. I want to remain vulnerable no matter what. Vulnerability. The quality or state of being exposed to be open, to be transparent. I am. When people I hear the words. I hear the words. Finally, to be allowed and encouraged to choose yourself and your safety without having to lose your belonging. Wow. Well, this is the summation of my life work right here, people. This is it. It is reaching the point. Whew. Oh, that's so beautiful. Forgiveness, vulnerability is giving a loved one the allowance and encouragement so they can choose their self and safety without fear of losing belonging. That's what fucks us all up. You want to correct it. This is how you do it. You need to heal. Oh, this is it, people. In order to heal, step one. Oh no, this is big. This is big. These are the words. In order to heal, these are the stages of healing. You need to save yourself. Without consequence. You have to save yourself. And then you have to love yourself through the stages of growth. And define yourself. And then you have to learn how to nurture without enabling. By giving others the encouragement and reassurance for them to save themselves and heal themselves without them ever having to choose between their self and their belonging. That's what I just did for him. I had no idea. I had no idea. Because I value him without gain or profit. This is love. This is wisdom love. Wow. You have to first save yourself. And then you have to love and define yourself through the stages of growth. And then you have to learn how to nurture without enabling by giving others the encouragement and reassurance for them to save themselves and heal themselves without them ever having to choose between their self and their belonging. Wow. It's a different point of view. I've already done this for myself. Now it's doing it for another person. Wow. So this is wisdom love in the U of I. I'm journaling this damn shit out. Like, I'm journaling it. I'm documenting it as I go. I hope. But I don't prioritize. That's the difference. The priority is his self-love and mine. And I do hope that we come back together. I do wish for our story to continue. But those things are not the priority. They must be, they can't even be the motive, the purpose, the incentive. The motive, the purpose, and the incentive has to be self-love and nurturing the self-love of the other. To give belonging, unconditional belonging. Wow, this is really hard. This is wisdom love. It is giving unconditional belonging even when you are hurt. Now, I'm going to hear back a lot like, well, what about self-sacrifice? If you are using your boundaries, this doesn't apply. You can't be hurt if you're using your boundaries. Your boundaries are vital. In fact, your boundaries are the comfort zone. The boundaries are retreating to your comfort zone. And you both should be encouraging each other to go back to your comfort zone without threatening the belonging. It is vital that you teach them that you can have both belonging with self-love. And every time I ran away from him in the past, I was threatening the belonging. That's narcissism. Wisdom love is securing the belonging. It's also included patience, belonging, and priority of the self. It's focusing on the now. And love is to value without gain or profit. All right. Welcome to the first perspective of the U of I. Yeah, this stuff is intense. How are we all doing? Like I said, logic integrated with emotions to get this nice balance of problem solving during emotional turmoil. This is the mastery of the 12 stages of ethical growth. You know, I'm not changing the garden. The garden is solid. The garden is defined. And I've been trying to figure out how I've been wanting to go forward with this, what to do with it. There's a lot that I've been trying to figure out. And it's finally understanding to the point where I can step back, and what I would like to do is get a scanner where I can scan in my papers and then upload them into a PDF on my website so that people can follow my documentation if they wish, and I can throw out my papers finally. It has been, I don't know even how to begin it. This is why I don't want to read Pythagoras' work, because I don't want this stuff to just be handed to me, because that's not internalizing. Also, I don't even know if Pythagoras got into this. I really don't think he did, but I'm hypothesizing. I don't know. I'm going to do some self-care. I'm going to retreat to my comfort zone. I think we need to stop using the word boundary, because it's such a misnomer and it's so confusing. Whenever a lot of people ask, I don't understand, it means that the word is wrong. It means that we're using it wrong. So I'm going to start changing the word boundary. It's no longer boundaries. It's moving behind the boundary line. Let's call it a boundary line. And your comfort zone rests inside the boundary line. And when you set a boundary, you're not setting a boundary. You have your boundaries defined. You are defining your boundaries for yourself. We're back to the defining. And then when you need to protect yourself, you need to move yourself behind the boundary line. And this is it. You can have your boundaries defined, but if you're still standing on the wrong side of the boundary line, fighting with someone and arguing and trying to say, you can't do that to me. Dude, imagine this. Imagine you have created an area, a physical space, and you've put up a fence around your property. And some bandits come by to attack your property. Are you going to stand on the outside of your boundary and say, you can't do that, while they shoot at you? Or are you going to go behind your fence and basically rebuild up your wall? You're going to build a bigger wall. But we don't do that. A lot of us will put up the wall, and then we'll stand on the other side and we'll point at it and be like, this is my boundary. But we're on the wrong side of the boundary. So understanding this, getting this really solidified in your head, is going to change a lot. That the boundary line is for you to define. You're the one who needs to walk your ass on the other side. Trust is determined by behavior, emotions, and your logic. It's your behavior that determines if you're trustworthy. because your behavior defines your ethics. Your behavior should be compatible with your ethics. Your words should be compatible with your ethics. Trust is when your behavior, your words, and your ethics all match. Your words, your actions, and your ethics all match, and that gives you trust. This is another triangle. All right, I'm going to go do my self-care. I'm going to go address this anger and play it out. And then I will figure something else out. Thank you for your audience, and may the kindest of words always find you.